In a small, dusty village in Nigeria, there lived a boy named Emeka. He was 12 years old and very poor. His shoes had holes. His school uniform was old and torn. Every morning, he walked 3 kilometers to school with no food in his stomach. But Emeka had something that no one could take from him. He had a dream. Every night, before he closed his eyes, Emeka looked up at the stars through the broken roof of his small home. He whispered the same words: "One day, I will become a doctor. I will heal the sick. I will make my mother proud." His mother, Adiz, worked from sunrise to sunset, selling vegetables at the local market. Her hands were rough. Her back was tired. But her eyes were full of love every time she looked at her son. "Emeka," she told him one evening, "we have very little money. But I will do everything I can to keep you in school. The only thing I ask is that you never stop dreaming." Emeka held his mother's hands and promised her. He promised himself. But the road was not easy. When Emeka was 14, his teacher, Mr. Obi, called him to stand in front of the class. Mr. Obi looked at Emeka's torn notebook and shook his head. "Emeka," he said loudly, so everyone could hear, "boys like you do not become doctors. Be realistic. Think small. Learn a trade. Accept your life." The class laughed. Emeka felt his face grow hot. His chest hurt. He wanted to cry. He wanted to run away and never come back. But then, something changed inside him. Instead of crying, Emeka stood tall. He looked at Mr. Obi and said calmly, "Thank you, sir. But I choose to think big." He sat down, opened his torn notebook, and wrote 5 words at the top of the page: "I will become a doctor." From that day, Emeka studied harder than anyone else. When others slept, he read by candlelight. When others played, he practiced math and science. He did not have many books, so he went to the village library every Saturday and read everything he could find. He failed his first big exam. Then he failed again. Each time, he felt pain. Each time, the voice in his head whispered, "Maybe Mr. Obi was right. Maybe you are not good enough." But Emeka had learned one powerful truth: big dreams always face big challenges. Failure is not the end. Failure is a lesson. He got up. He tried again. Years passed. Emeka grew. At 18, he won a scholarship to study at the University of Lagos. When the letter arrived, his mother read it 3 times. Then she sat down on the ground and cried tears of deep joy. Emeka knelt beside her and held her close. "You did it," she said softly. "We did it," he replied. University was a new world for Emeka. The buildings were tall. The libraries were full of books. The students came from rich families with expensive clothes and new phones. Emeka felt small again. But then he remembered the stars. He remembered his promise. He kept thinking big. He studied with passion. He helped other students. He stayed humble, but he never stopped believing in himself. Slowly, his professors noticed him. One professor, Dr. Nwosu, took Emeka under his guidance. She gave him extra resources, extra attention, and one very important gift: belief. "Emeka, you have something rare. You have fire inside. Never let anyone blow it out." Those words became his armor. Every time he felt weak, every time life felt too heavy, he heard Dr. Nwosu's voice and he stood up again. At the age of 26, Emeka graduated as a medical doctor. His mother sat in the front row of the graduation ceremony, wearing her best dress. It was old. It was simple. But she had never looked more beautiful. When Emeka walked across the stage and received his certificate, the whole hall clapped. But Emeka only looked at one person: his mother. She was standing and crying and smiling all at the same time. He returned to his village. He opened a free clinic for poor families. Children who had no money could receive medicine. Mothers who were sick could find help. The old people of the village, who once told him to be realistic, now called him our doctor. One afternoon, Mr. Obi, his old teacher, came to the clinic. He was now very old and very sick. He sat in front of Emeka and could not look him in the eye. "I was wrong about you," Mr. Obi whispered. Emeka smiled gently. There was no anger in his heart, only peace. "It is okay, sir," Emeka said. "You taught me something very important. You taught me that when others think small of you, you must think even bigger of yourself." He treated Mr. Obi with full care and sent him home with medicine and no charge. The world will sometimes tell you that you are too small, too poor, too ordinary to achieve great things. People will laugh at your dreams. Life will test your strength again and again. But the size of your life is determined not by the size of your wallet, your village, or your past, it is determined by the size of your thinking. Dream big, work hard, fall down, get up, and never, ever let anyone steal the fire inside you.